more than $1.
That's when I knew you were right.
It means because I don't bet, and Gerald wanted to bet something
$1.
with me. He was like $1. I was like, I would like to bet.
That's from
substantially
Trading
more.
Places. You know, they bet $1.
Yeah.
Mortimer and Ian.
I don't bet dollars.
We bet more.
I only bet the bills. That's short for billions because my Lambos aren't going to clean themselves. That's why I have hired help.
Speaking of Josh,
What?
When you hear this, you know him, you love him. September 19th, he's going to be at the Big Laugh Comedy Club in Fort Worth, Texas. He's
Yeah.
banned from X. So follow him on Instagram or jfirestein.com. Was in a car crash this weekend. How are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent. I feel fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about chicken wings. I'm a flat guy myself.
You're a flat guy? I'm a drum guy.
You're a drum guy?
Comment below. Are you flat or drum?
Drums.
I am drum.
That's a perfect match, me and you, because you have you have the drums, I have the flats.
It's like Lady and the Tramp with the spaghetti, only with wings, and we would share them.
they call
Yeah.
them flats?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
call them flats.
I had no
yeah, it's
idea.
called a flat.
I like the drums because I get the really, really hot one, and then I dip a little bit in the ranch. But now they sell hot mixed with ranch, so I'm like, I don't know what, my world is upside down.
Asian
much.
thing
That's
for
too
me.
much.
That's all I can do.
So let's go right to this.
Be good. Listen.
This lady, I don't know if
Careful.
you've seen this, it's making the rounds. I believe it's new. This lady is furious at a young man, I believe that's okay,
Yeah,
who
that
took
thing-
a picture at a big box store or a Walmart, and so decides to take matters into her own large crab-cracking hands. Watch.
Oh,
No,
what are you doing?
you do not.
Hey,
You do not.
what are you doing? What? Hey,
You do not take pictures of me.
look what you're doing.
Right. Look what you're doing, kid.
I thought you were Vader.
What?
I thought you were mankind.
Just
I love how, by the way, that this person also is like a 1940s cop. Like,
Yeah.
look what you're doing, kid.
You're gonna go downtown for this one.
You're gonna go downtown. How do you feel about a paddy wagon? Which, by the way, is that is as feminine
Okay.
of an assault and battery as I've ever seen committed.
that's allowed on YouTube.
You may not like people taking pictures of you, okay, and I understand that,
Yeah.
but you don't have the right to commit assault and battery.
Yes,
that is
pictures?
assault.
That is.
Whether you're a man, a lady, or
Hey,
easy.
Steven.
So this,
David,
this
come on,
because
hey.
look with the YouTube thing, I get
I'm
it.
nervous.
This person is a criminal, and I bet you that young man probably thinks that lady is insane. That young man would be wrong to think that
I'd just
because
be
you would not
a
be
little-
allowed to say that person, because we're not a doctor, is in any way
No.
mentally unstable.
No.
That's how, and that's
wouldn't
not
say
indicative.
that.
That's not indicative how all of the.
No,
How
just-
all women behave.
Oh, Lord.
Just that person.
They do be shopping.
And I think it's unacceptable.
Right. Good. Yeah. Right.
Okay, we can leave it there.
It's a crazy tranny who's assaulting a young boy for taking a picture for crying out loud. There's nothing feminine about yelling at someone looking like Vader's. You can't take pictures of me, kid. Oh, I want to grab. That's assault. It's violence. It's only considered acceptable because this person is out of their mind / trans. But I repeat myself, dear Lord God in heaven, I hope they hit the YouTube button.
Oh, good Lord.
They got it.
Well, I hope that she gets back on her meds.
Yes.
Wow. That's, old Maui from Moana is looking angry these days.
I'm about to erupt.
Yeah. I'm a volcano of feminine energy.
You're welcome.
Feel my lava.
I can feel my femininity bubbling up from my balls. That look is for dudes.
I feel like that person was gonna toss that kid out, like they tossed the guy out on Fresh Prince. Yeah, you had him holding him by the back.
Yeah, that is if it were just a man, just a standard cisgender man doing that to a young boy, people would be calling the police. In that case, everyone goes,
Do whatever you want all the time.
"Yep,
Yeah. What is it? South Park that did that?
all right."
I don't know, but that's
Speaking
that's how it
of-
See
goes.
that? It's hilarious. Okay. Anyway.
Speaking of horrible behavior, a Chicago school worker.
This isn't horrible necessarily. Well, I mean, it is, but it's kind of funny.
And by the way, they wrote in the news story, the link, they wrote "N Chicago school worker," so I always have to, make sure that I correct what the local news is doing. We try to we always try to, with our sources, provide you either with left-leaning sources, authoritative sources that the left has approved to remove any excuse, or sometimes it has to come from a local news source if that's sort of the origin of the story. So this Chicago school worker was recently sentenced to 9 years, and this has been picking up steam, I think, for reasons you can maybe guess once you see this, for stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. But here's the thing. What you're about to see is the actual report from the local news.
Well, it's that time for another edition of Crazy Ass Criminals. Chasing chicken wing dreams during the pandemic was a mission Vera Liddell in Chicago was on, and the slick-ass senior citizen had no chill. Prosecutors say the Harvey School District Food Service manager stood on business. She ordered over 11,000 cases of chicken wings that never touched the longing lips of any students. The total loss to the damn district was $1.5 million.
So that's
That's a real report.
That's a real report. And by the way, we're going to reach out and see if that person wants to come work for us. Because I guarantee you that's someone who doesn't want to be working in the local news, just like, yeah, screw it. You know what? I'm going to call crazy ass criminals.
That's right.
See what happens.
I hope he wants to leave Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just do it different in Chicago.
So it took place between 2020 and 2022.
That's a lot of crime.
Over $18,000 worth of chicken wings a week.
That's a lot of chicken wings.
Here's the thing. They don't serve chicken wings to the kids.
Yeah, why
Because
would
of
they?
the choking hazard?
Yeah.
How did it go on for more than one order? Love wings. So this is clearly a patsy for the higher ups. Like you'd think one person would go, all right, going through microwave pizzas, $18,000 in a food that we don't serve. Hey, what's this about? And it would be done. So I think that this goes a little bit higher than the crazy ass criminal if it gets to 1.5 million.
I think so. Other people got to be held responsible for this, right?
Yeah.
Because they either they're that incompetent or ignorant.
Well, this goes back to public school. Hey, take this, throw more money at the problem, because 80% of students at this school, right, or the district overall, they qualify as low income. So when people say charter schools hurt these kids because some kids live in these neighborhoods, they wouldn't be able to drive or ride their bike or take a bus. Well, right now, they are designated to this one school. A place like this went on for 2 years, $1.5 million.
Worth of chicken wings.
It's an absurd story, but it makes the same point. Throw more money at that problem. Do you think any of it's going to be fixed? And I know, by the way, people will try and make this an issue of racial division, where some people will say, hey, this person shouldn't do 9 years. This person is having the book thrown at them because they're black. Or, look, some people will look at that and go, you know what? An area around Chicago, corrupt school, par for the course. Not a race thing, par for the course for the public servants of places like Illinois. And now you have the Kansas City Chiefs player, Chris Jones. I don't know if he's serious or not, saying that I'll pay for the wings that she stole to get her free.
Well, that's not how crime works.
It seems like a very high price for wings. 18,000 boxes and 1.5 million. How much is each box?
Well, wings are actually, I'm going to do a set that
I
wings
want to know
are.
the street value of this.
Yeah.
1.5.
Right.
Wings are one of the
value.
strongest indicators of inflation. You know why? Because you can't change your business model. If you're McDonald's, if you're selling different sandwiches, oh, we can get pork for cheaper now. We're going to move the menu. Let's take some roast beef out of here. Let's make the burger patty smaller. Let's change our sourcing for bread. With wings, you get what you get. You either have to reduce the number or increase the price. And I believe it's well over 30%, closer to 30, 40% just since Biden's been in office.
But wings have gone
Yeah,
up?
wings are a very tough business, which is why this horrible bitch stole them. Now,
Well, don't say horrible. You haven't tried her wings yet.
that's true. I don't know.
I mean, for 2 years, she was probably slinging the best wings in South Chicago.
I wonder if she tried to get out of it with the cops. Like, look, I'll serve my time. Mm-hmm. I done wrong.
That's right.
And I know that. And I will have to make amends. But first, would you like to try? And the cop's like, listen, I ain't gonna, that ain't gonna work on him.
Oh, Lord.
Judge, you gotta try some of this. Not guilty, motherfucker.
You make the sauce yourself. Hey, that's why Chris Jones wants to get her out. He's like, she'll be my personal chef. Let's move this chick down to Kansas City and she can go out and tailgate with us.
It's government corruption. I'm sorry. We need to completely comment if you agree or hit the Rumble button or like on YouTube. Completely defund the Federal Department of Education. By the way, we'll have a new installments of 3 and 3 next week. One of them is the Federal Department of Education.
3 wings in 3 minutes.
That would be funny.
Next Wednesday, Thursday, join us. We're not doing the regular morning shows. We are going to be live fact-checking the DNC. That's, of course, Tim Walz on Wednesday, and then the speech from Kamala Harris on Thursday. We will have the drinking games going on. It's a 2-night live special event. And we also have Nick DiPaolo. Josh is going to be here. I believe that we are starting. We don't know the time. I think it's at 7 Eastern.
Something around there.
Something around there.
We're
We're at the town.
9 o'clock.
Time to be announced.
Yeah.
But we will be live fact-checking all of it.
Yep.
Right here. This is the place that the RNC was tough because I know that you want to hear Donald Trump and Vance speak. In this case, you want to hear them be rebutted and know how they're lying to you. And the good news is we have a staff of people here who are better than anyone on earth. All right. Let's move on to Iran.
Do we have to?
What would you like to do today, Gerald? What would you like this show to be?
I don't want Harris to be supported by Iran.
Well, I don't want her to be supported, but what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about this. I just hate
Want to talk about Notre Dame fighting Irish? Is that what you want to do?
Actually, if you want, they came out at number 7 in the most recent.
Did they
poll.
really?
It's going to be
Okay.
My neck is hurting more now.
Yeah, I know. So is my soul. Okay. So, of
Just wanna
course,
lead your body.
you have the election coming up. We all know that, right? Election? You guys are aware of the election? And Iran is ramping up efforts to interfere with the election. Now, the way the left is presenting it is that this is kind of a both sides type situation. It's not, but listen to them.
So Google is now warning both presidential campaigns about ongoing hacking threats from Iran. It says there have been multiple attempts by Iranian hackers to access accounts belonging to people associated with Harris, Biden, and Donald Trump.
Also involved in trying to kill Donald Trump, kind of a biggie. We'll get to why they may favor Harris and Biden over Donald Trump. Hint, $1 trillion. But yesterday, it was also reported, now we can't confirm this, if this is true, and of course the media usually doesn't care if something is true, this should be the biggest scandal right now in the country, period, bar none. I read it and I thought this must be a misprint. So it was reported that United States officials actually presented Iran with the names of Mossad officials that killed the Hamas leader, Ismail Haniyeh. So think American officials, this is reported, if true, gave Iran the names of the people who killed the leader of the terrorist organization. Think about that. When people talk about a conspiracy, that they want World War III and perpetual conflict, okay, it's not always the case. How many people can you get in a room? But this would be the most clear-cut example that you could possibly present that you have people in the United States intelligence offices who are interested in something equivalent to World War III. And by the way, we managed to obtain a recording of how it allegedly went down.
Tell me who it was. I just did. Check your facts. I know your Wi-Fi can be a little finicky. I said, tell me who it is, damn it. I told you, I just did. But are you serious? It was that easy? Yep. I didn't even get to do the part where I threatened to stone your wife, steal your daughter in front of you. I had the whole thing planned. Totally unnecessary, man. Okay, well, we will give you names of your enemies in exchange. Don't worry about it. We're just happy to help. Thank you. I mean that, thank you. That is really refreshing. You know, it's almost impossible to get a real person on the phone anymore. Believe me, I understand. And when you finally get through, they're rude, it's a call center in Bangladesh, it's not a person. I get it. People like you, yeah, it's annoying. Well, I just want you to know, it does not go unnoticed. It's appreciated, sir. Actually, it's ma'am. I identify as a woman, and my pronouns are they, them. I know you probably didn't mean the microaggression, so no biggie this time.
That person's dead now. So
They are. By the way, let me just clarify. 10 names were given. This originated from a Kuwaiti report picked up by Fox News. Fox has since deleted the article. We've come out and said that this didn't actually happen, right? But I don't know that I trust them. 10 people that are still in Iran.
right.
Do you understand what that means? It's like saying, hey, there's 10 people that work for Mossad that are still in your country.
Right.
That is far worse than just saying, oh, these are the guys that did it, but they're in Israel where they're kind of protected.
Right. So Fox News is saying that it didn't happen now?
Well, no, Fox isn't saying that. I think we'll get down to it. Like the administration is saying that it didn't happen.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll take their
I
word
just
for it.
believe them.
Yeah. But this is important as it relates to the overall narrative. You just saw with CNN saying they're trying to hack both campaigns. Happen to be racist.
That's their guy.
So the director of national intelligence actually reported that Iran is trying to stop Trump from winning in November with, and this comes from CNN, Tehran working to influence the presidential election because probably Iranian leaders want to avoid an outcome they perceive would increase tensions with the United States. Now, to be clear, that is code for consequences.
Yes.
That there will be consequences from the United States, like freezing $6 billion in funds that you may use to go to a nuclear reactor.
And Hellfire missiles into cars in motion.
Right.
That would be also bad.
Exactly. So when the media tells you Iran is trying to interfere with this election, by the way, these are the same people who did this with Russia. There's so much more evidence right now that Iran is interfering with this election than we ever had with Russia. It is remarkable that the media is not covering it. Well, I shouldn't say remarkable. It's entirely expected. The most they will do is say, it seems like they're trying to create uncertainty on both sides. Nope. They tried to assassinate one side. They have tried to elect one side, Kamala Biden-Harris. They've tried to spread fake news about one side, Donald Trump. And they've actively hacked and leaked private information from one side, Donald Trump. There is no moral equivalency in homicides. A 9.5% increase in homicides. Fox, in their defense, did share this footage of the most violent crimes committed in New York in 2024.
Hey, watch it, jet boy.
This looks pretty dangerous.
Wow.
It really hits home when you see who it touches. Here's another truth.
All of us.
That assaults are up big time. So using the survey that excludes New York City, assaults are up 9.1%. Okay? Using a survey that includes New York City, assaults are up 20.7%. So even when they cut out New York, assaults are still up 9%. Then you include New York, it's up 20%. From pre-COVID levels, if you include New York City, assaults are up 28.7%.
Wow.
Again, this is with the unfortunate reality that we have to deal with, that a lot of crimes are going completely unreported. It's still up to a staggering degree, to a degree that we have not experienced in our lifetime. Do you guys realize that? This is kind of a common libertarian argument for a very long period of time. It's like, well, people talk about the good old days, but truth be, if you look at the statistics, crimes typically, statistically, goes down over the recent decades, and there's actually less crime. And that was true for a long period of time, until recently.
Wonder what changed.
28.7%, or as Pete Buttigieg calls it, a victory.
Progress.
Here's another truth. Violent crime, by the way, it still went up in these leftist areas, even using their own warped metrics. So again, let me just, before I continue with this, I want to go back. The headline from Fox News, homicides are plunging in Biden's last year compared to Trump report. I just want you to keep that in mind as we continue to go through this. We've gone through the homicide, we've gone through pre-COVID numbers, now we've gone through assault. Okay.
Yeah, because that's a weird word, plunging.
Plunging.
I mean, 13% doesn't even sound like plunging.
No, it doesn't even sound like
that's
plunging.
a big number.
Hold on, do me a favor too. Research who wrote this article. I know Fox like that they shouldn't have let something like this get through their editorial staff, but who wrote this piece of garbage and didn't do any research at all?
Well, here's the other truth, is that violent crime is still going up even in these leftist areas, using the warped metrics of this survey that they have included. So in Portland, homicides are up 278%.
That's a lot.
Assaults up 30%. Seattle, homicides are up 58%. Assaults, they're up 25%. Atlanta, homicides are up 20%. Assaults up 20%. Remember, I don't know if you know Minneapolis, Walls, homicides are up 15%. They're up 106% from pre-COVID levels.
Good gosh.
The assaults,
6%?
the assaults, not even just going pre-COVID, just The assaults, using the metrics from this study, they're up 357%, and they are up 417% from pre-COVID levels. That is what you see from this study and available legitimate data. So I just say this so that you don't allow the media, I hate to use the term gaslight, but gaslight you and say, well, crime is actually, do you want to go back to crime because that was Donald Trump? You know it's not true. Even leftists know it's not true. The American public, if you split the polling samples and you include a multitude of independents and strong Democrat, weak Democrats, no matter how you divide it up, guess what? People say that crime is worse now because that's what they experience. So the media wants you to believe that the statistics don't reflect it. They absolutely do. They actually reflect it to a degree that is startling to you, where if you knew how bad these numbers actually were, you probably wouldn't go into any major city for quite a while. Like if you found out, if instead of people telling you, hey, you're more likely to be struck by lightning than to be attacked by a shark, that's what they always say, which is, I hate that. It's like, well, yeah, because I spend all of my life on land and very little in the ocean. I'm sure the chances go up dramatically. If they said, actually, I don't know if you know this, you're far more likely to die in the beach from a shark than on your drive there in your car, you'd be like, well, holy shit, then I'm not going to drive my car to the beach. So if someone were to say, you're actually 417% more likely to be the victim of assault here in Minneapolis, thanks to Tim Walz and his policy, than you were pre-COVID, you'd go, well, I guess I'm not going to Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Right. Scroll back up just a second. Everybody's numbers that we showed, basically, when you, right there is good.
That's sad, man.
The hell are you doing?
That's as far to the left as you can possibly get. Saying the child is transgender. And by the way,
before they could even form a sentence,
those are awful, awful parents. For example, I took my little ones the other day to Quick Trip in the morning, and because they have the donut display. And of course, both of them, my son, just like my daughter, went for the pink donut with the sprinkles. Why? Because the other ones are plain donuts. It looks like a Simpsons donut. It looks like a cartoon.
It looks flavored.
Now, if I were an abusive leftist parent, I would go, he picked the pink. Oh, I think I know what's happening here. No, he wanted the only donut with sprinkles, dummy.
Get him a dress.
And here's the other one. And Fox is so left, and Fox, I would argue, violates journalistic ethics to a degree that is so upsetting that it actually has served as the inspiration for what we're doing this election. And I've talked about this. Okay. Here's example number 3. In 2020, Fox didn't just go along with the left. Fox was the only place to do this. They called Arizona for Biden with only 73% of the vote in.
This is a big development. Yeah. The Fox News Decision Desk is calling Arizona for Joe Biden. That is a big get for the Biden campaign.
And by the way, the other networks didn't call it until 9 days after the election. Now, keep in mind, Biden only won Arizona by 10,457 votes. And